Okay, today's project is very spontaneous. What you see behind this rock is tomorrow's project. Dale's coming over and he's going to do that. But what happened was I was getting ready for him and then I ran across this rock. Well, I was cleaning out this one section underneath the tree and this was buried for a number of years. I think about 20 some odd years. You know, I go through different phases, and I think this was when I was carving rocks to make planters. So right in here, you see a fairly deep pocket and a smaller one here. I haven't done that for a number of years, so I'm pretty sure that this has been buried underneath the leaves. Well, the tree was small when I first started, and it got bigger, so it got buried underneath there. But having learned that it's not a good idea to put plants in here. Well, what happens is if you put a nice plant somewhere down the line, you have to decide whether you like the rock or the plant. It's almost impossible to get it out without breaking the container or just ripping the plant. So I quit doing that. Recently, I found this bowl. It's supposed to be recycled material. It feels just like my mica pot. I think it's made in the Americas, but anyway, it's unbreakable and somewhat affordable. And I've always thought about using something like this to do Bonniwa. And now that it's getting harder and harder to get bonsai pots, I thought this will be a perfect time. So anyway, that's what this chapter is all about, making a Bonniwa in a bowl. This bowl has a lot of soil in it, and I need to make sure it's nice and packed, and I'll add some more. But the bad thing is it's going to get heavy. And you know, I've been making point about not making too many heavy things. But one good thing, this will be good for fast growing things that want to grow in sun. So I was thinking maybe I'll make something that will end up in the patio. Or, you know, a lot of people in California now have these massive barbecue tables. And I thought maybe something like that would work. But I was thinking using this rock and put a very sun-hardy plant because, you know, like a lot of areas would be very sunny, might be some reflected heat and things like that. So I was going to make this so that it can go into a very sunny spot. But I'll get some more soil and we'll get back to you. I decided to go with this Femina juniper, mainly because it's so hardy. So this arrangement ends up in full sun. It will be still quite hardy. There's a lot of soil in there, so it won't dry out and probably will not need to be repotted in the next 5, 7, maybe it might even go 10 years because about the soil that's in there. The only drawback, I said in the beginning, it's going to be somewhat heavy. But I'll go ahead and detail this out. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with those pockets where I was going to put the bonsai, but I have another idea that would save us the headache in the future. So let's go ahead and let this thing turn and get to the front, and I'll get busy and finish this up. This is going to be a very simple project. This tree itself is probably over 20 years old. So maybe the tree and the rock is about the same age. I mean, the rock itself is millions of years old, but I think I made this with the pockets about 20 some odd years ago. So anyway, I think the front is coming around. So I'll go ahead and finish up and let's let you see the solution. Okay, now this is what I got done today. You notice in those pockets, I put the grass and some succulents. Well, you know what you don't want to do is to put in a nice bonsai that you spent years and years trying to get it nicely done, and then find out you either have to break the rock or destroy the tree. Well, with the grasses and succulents, it's no big deal. You just pull them out and then stick a piece of back in there and it's fine. So, oh, I did have to add this other rock in the back. Well, you know, one thing about being round, you really don't have to have a front. In fact, for the patio, I think it's more like the gnocchi. It has to look good from almost all directions. So I think this thing is working out well. Hopefully you agree. The only thing is, I don't know how heavy it is. This may actually be the front. But anyway, oh yeah, and then in the background is the big pot. Remember I said in the beginning that I was getting ready for Dale's video tomorrow, and then I got sidetracked by the rock. So anyway, as we come around the front, I think that's where I put the main rock as being the front, but I think the other side could be just as good. So I'm gonna say goodbye for now. I'm not gonna try to pick it up till Dale comes tomorrow. I figure I'll just wait till he's here to give me a hand. I think it's manageable. You know, a few years back, I would have said no big deal. But now everything I try to pick up is a big deal. So this aging process is not always easy. Okay, so I'll see you again real soon. In fact, I'll see you tomorrow because, well, no, you won't see me tomorrow. You'll hear me tomorrow because they'll be doing his thing. He's got that big pot that he's so proud of, and I'm so afraid. Well, I'm afraid for me, but he's still young yet, and he figures he could pick it up. Well, I was like that at his age too. I often make big pots. I just don't do that anymore. So anyway, I'm gonna say goodbye for now, and I'll see you again tomorrow. This is the rock that got me started on this thing, kind of spontaneous. But you know, we are currently having a difficult time to find bonsai containers. Well, it's out there, but it's becoming less affordable. Anyway, so I'm thinking we should be looking for containers that will work without being a typical bonsai pot. And I think these bowls, I think lend itself. I wish they had one size smaller, maybe two sizes that the same shape except smaller. Now, in my younger days, I would say, I wish they make one that was bigger. But hey, those days are gone. So anyway, this is Hiro saying goodbye. I'll see you again real soon in another chapter. Okay, if you're wondering about the size of this container, it's 24 inches across. And I think more than 5 gallons of fresh soil went in there. And we have the 2 rocks and the plant. So it's quite heavy, but the good part is it will last a very long time in this container. And I'm estimating 5 to 7. I wouldn't be surprised if it lasts to 10. The grasses, the moss, and the succulent, yeah, they might need to be replaced. But generally, the bonsai part should last a very long time and should take some intense heat. Well, we're talking about intense heat locally. We're not talking about Las Vegas and other places like that where they're very, very extreme. But I think in terms of adaptability, because it has so much soil in a large container, it should be okay. Okay, I thought I'd give you the statistics on this, and it is quite heavy.